In August of 2009, during an intense electrical storm, I decided to try to catch lightning bolts on film with a cheap HP digital camera. What I got has confused me until recently. I was shocked to learn that recently an astronomer working with concave lens telescopes had accidentally captured the same types of images. They have been labeled extra-terrestrial entities. The digital files shown here have not been altered with any effects, only cropping and enlargement have been added for this video, and I still have the original files and the camera. This incident took place on an August night in central Pennsylvania during an intense electrical storm, and I decided that what I wanted to do was, I had seen pictures in National Geographic and other magazines where people had captured lightning bolts on film, and even though this camera had a delay shutter, I knew it was going to be hit or miss, but there were so many lightning strikes that night and the storm was so powerful that I thought that I might be able to capture one. The picture that you see here is the only image that I captured with a lightning bolt in it. I don't know if you can see it clearly on the screen that you're looking at, but in the picture you see the umbrella on a table there on the deck. You see the lightning bolts in the background, and if you look right next to the umbrella, about halfway up in the picture, you'll see a round disc-shaped cloud that looks particularly very geometrical, I would say. And if you look closely, there are 3 different lightning bolts all converging on that one cloud or coming from that one strange looking cloud. I took about 20 pictures at first, and I went in, and because my SIM card at the time would only hold that many pictures, I went in and I started to go through the shots on the screen. And one thing I noticed was down towards the center bottom area of the picture, you'll see what looks like a lightning bolt, but what that actually is a reflection off of a porch door that had a plexiglass front on it that was across the yard from where I was actually taking the shot. The house was there, and this was the back of the house, so I don't know how there could have possibly been a reflection like that unless there was a lightning bolt behind me that was somehow reflecting off of that plexiglass. But the strange part of this whole thing is those reflections were in almost every single shot I took. And when I zoomed in on them and started to look at them closely, I was very confused at what I saw. What you're seeing here is the enlargement from that door reflection. And at first, when I first saw this, when I blew it up, I was kind of baffled at what I was looking at. I knew I was seeing a stereo image of something because the top area seems to mirror the bottom area, and they both seem to be shaped the same way, and I couldn't help but notice what looks like a strange little head there with big ears and a big mouth at the top, like some kind of a stick figure, but I just thought it was a fluke of the camera, perhaps a reflection of the lightning strike. This is another image that I took right after the one that I just showed you. This time there is no lightning strike, there is no lit up sky, but at the same time the stereo image is still on that door. And this is the enlargement of that stereo image. And again, it seems to be almost something that looks like it has a head. You can make out ears at the top if you use your imagination a little bit, I guess. I don't know, but I just think it's very strange. And again, the same kind of almost look like handwritten kind of scribble. So, yeah. And here's another example. This is the shot from the deck, looking at that door. There are no lightning bolts in this picture. The sky is not lit up, and you can clearly see the outline of the top of the door there and the two stereo images that are reflecting on the door. And then we'll take a look at the enlargement of that, and this is what is there. Very, very odd, very strange. Again, almost looks like some kind of a line drawn stick figure animal with a head, and very well copied stereophonic image of itself right below it. I don't know where the tiny dots are coming from. I have a feeling they may be just pixelation from the camera. And I'm not going to go through all the distance shots that I took, but I'm going to show you all of them here enlarged without showing you the rest. This looks like it has some weird, really weird things going on with it. Again, here's another one. And one of the strangest things about these shots is if you look at them closely, you can see things like faces in them. And one thing that showed up a lot was a man wearing sunglasses, and you'll see that in some of these crops. Here's another very unusual one. The spheres floating around, like I said, I'm not sure what they are. This one looks like a dragon. It looks like on the left hand side, it looks like it's got its mouth open. It has horns and an extremely long neck going back to what looks like another dragon head that's looking the opposite direction. Here's one that looks, I called this one the seahorse. It kind of reminds me of a seahorse in a way. And as you're looking at these, maybe you're seeing things that I just didn't see. But yeah, strange, odd. This I called the floating finger. It looks like someone's giving me the finger in stereo. And again, this is just a reflection from that plexiglass door. And here's another one. Here you can see the man with the sunglasses. If you look at the bottom one especially, he's got a mustache. He's wearing a pair of dark sunglasses, and you can see the brim of a cap. His head is perfectly formed. I saw a lot of faces in some of these things. It was crazy. Here's another weird one. Don't really know what to make of this, but you're starting to get the idea of what these look like on a regular basis. Here again, sunglasses. I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you look at the bottom of the stereophonic image, it looks like a pair of sunglasses laying on their side, and you'll see why I say sunglasses here in a moment. Here's another strange one. It looks like some kind of a malformed baseball cap or something. Hard to make it out. It's not jagged and lines like the others, so these things are changing as I'm picking them up. This one, you can see sunglasses again here at the bottom. It looks like a perfect pair of sunglasses attached to the bottom of this thing, and you've got that little dragon head all the way up at the top, and the swirling all around, and the same stereophonic image at the bottom. Here's another one that's again swirling, some kind of object on the end, making loop by next to loop, looking like sunglasses again. This next one is very weird. It looks like writing. I mean, it looks to me like someone wrote something there. I know it looks like an A and an M and a Z and an A and an L and a B. I'm not sure what the second letter is there. But again, this is mirror imaged right below it, almost at the exact same spot as the others. Here again, you can see the head, you can see the sunglass kind of swirly figure 8 shape, whatever that is that's going on. Very, 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 very odd. I can't tell you how I felt when I started blowing these things up. This one, self-explanatory. You can see all kind of things in here. I definitely see what looks like a face, especially on the bottom image, looking down with an arm coming around. I don't know, it's just what I see. This one is really unusual because it's very long and goes up pretty far, and it's very thin compared to the other images. So that's what's kind of unusual about this one. Here we go. Now if you look closely, in the middle of the stereophonic image, it looks like a face with horns, two eyes. You can see the mouth and the nose, and the mouth is partially open, and right in front of that face is something. Here's another one that almost looks like writing, scribbling. I don't know what to make of it. I just don't know what to make of it. It's odd. This one again is like a malformed, weird, heart-shaped kind of. I don't want to say heart-shaped. It looks like a human heart, but it's just a very strange-looking thing. This one's really unusual. Again, if you look at the left end, you can see the double swirl, almost like a pair of sunglasses. And in this one, what's unusual is it's almost triple mirrored. You can see one above, one in the middle, and one below. And you don't see the stereo image of the other one. This one's really strange to me. This looked just like a little girl holding a book and looking down. In the bottom image, it almost looks like someone holding a book wearing sunglasses, which is kind of strange. This one I call the chicken. It just looks like a chicken on a stand. I don't know what else to call it or what else to really make of it. So after that, I went ahead and started using my flash, and I turned the flash on, and I started taking flash pictures of the backyard area, and I stopped concentrating so much on that door. Here you can see the door a little clearer in the picture. And in this shot, I just basically shot out over the yard, and it's very, very hard to see in this picture, but there is something very small right there, the little white dot at the bottom left corner of that shot. I zoomed in on that, and this is what I saw. It looks like a winged thing with a perfectly round head and a weeble wobble body. That's all I can make of it. All of a sudden I picked up this. I was not smoking. It was not foggy outside. I don't know where this mist came from, but it wrapped around my head, and the next shot I got this. I have no idea what this is. It just looks like streaming blonde hair to me. In this shot, you can see a streak going across in front of the shed there and above the fence, and it's just like a red streak of light with a very bright light in the front. And here you can see it again going up and down instead of straight across. It's up and down. It's the exact same thing. And here's the close-up shot of that. It's got a bright white yellow head. This was a shot I took that I have no idea what this is. I don't know how it got on in the film or in the shot. I don't know what it is or where it would have come from. Here, looking out over the yard, you see what looks like a jagged-looking snake thing, and this looks a lot like the Santilli telescope photographs. Here it looks like a snake. It's very jagged-looking, and it's definitely has a head or a lead end. This next one is even more interesting. It's very bright white. This was taken out over the yard without the flash. And this is the close-up. This looks a lot like the Santilli stuff. You've got what looks like a snake. You can see pulsation. Here's that shot over the yard again, just showing the straight line. Now I know it looks like in the background there someone might have had a flashlight or something, but here you can see it. It starts in front of that pine tree. It's over the yard. This is a very interesting one. It's self-explanatory. I don't need to say any more. It is what it is, and that's a very, very strange picture. Behind it, you can see a little face looking at it. It's weird. In this one, there's a little green blob to the right there, up towards the middle top. And this is that little green blob. And I don't know if you can see the faces in there, but I can. I see two men distinctly. One smiling, sideburns, weird. This just showed up on the film. I have no idea what it is. There was no light there at the time. And anyway, here's my last one. I don't know what to make of this one either, but this is, I wanted to put this out there in case anybody can help me understand what I might be seeing here, if these are not interterrestrial entities like Mr. Santilli thinks that he has proven with his Santilli telescope. I don't know. All I know is I took these pictures over 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and it's been that long since and over the past 7 years, I've asked many people many questions. I've asked them to look at my pictures. I've sent them to people who would know better, even people at Kodak and HP, the people that made the camera. And no one can really give me any kind of a good explanation. So I'm putting this out there, and if you have any experiences like this or want to make any comments, please leave your comments in the comments section below. I will be putting a link to the video that I watched that made me realize that this was going on. And thank you for watching, and I'll update you as soon as I have anything new.